Now you got to talk defensive coordinator. And this is a little bit more muddy. D'Amico Ryans to Steve Wilks. You could make arguments for this is better than that or whatever else. We don't know because we haven't seen this fit yet. Dave, what's up, Dave? He says Wilks will improve the secondary and won't mess with the D line or linebackers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yeah, my favorite quote that I have had from Wilks is, tweak. That's it. Like tweak, embrace, but tweak. Embrace what they've done, but tweak just a couple things. And I think that's it. So I don't think that this is the right clip. But again, the question is, how will the 49ers look defensively with Wilks in? Let's hear from Wilks himself.
Number one, I hope one of our goals, we talked about trying to lead the league in the least explosive plays. I think we gave up too many last year. So hopefully you don't see that. The fastest and quickest way to win a game is through the air. So as great as those guys may be playing up front, we got to make sure we secure things on the back end. So we don't want to give up explosive plays. That's number one. And two, we got to make more plays on the football, interceptions, and then find a way to get in the end zone with those.
That's it, man. Limit those huge explosive plays, get more turnovers. And if you look at the way in which they drafted, every single person is a ball hawk, right? You bring in Darrell Luter Jr., you draft him, he had 12 career picks. Ji'Ayir Brown, 12 career picks. You go get Deshaun Jameson, a whole bunch of interceptions, undrafted free agent. You get Jalen Graham, interceptions. You get D. Winters, fumbles, interceptions. You get Robert Bill Jr., forced fumbles, sack fumbles. It makes sense. So here's what I'm going to say, okay? And this would be the final bit on the defense before we jump to another one, unless we got some good comments. I'll say this. If Vegas put out a prop bet today for the 49ers being 2.5, right? The over-under on points allowed per game, 2.5. That basically if they're first or second, you win. If they're third or lower, you lose. I would bet the under. If it was the 49ers are 2.5. So you win if they're second or first. That's it. I would take that bet. Because I do believe that this team is that damn good. I do. I think it's better. Defensively, I do. Now, I like this, and shout out to Clayton for, helping me with these comments. Coach Cruz, he says, my only concern is will Wilks be as aggressive as Ryans? He can't be less because the 49ers are one of the least blitz-heavy teams in the NFL. Wilks has carried a much higher blitz rate through his career than the 49ers have over their last 6 years. That's going back with Saleh starting all the way into, what D'Amico did. And a lot of that has to do with your linebacking core so damn good. You don't have to. I think it's going to be more aggressive. I do. And not necessarily, okay, when we say aggressive defensively, coach, I think what most people hear is blitz, right? Okay, well, what's a blitz? A blitz is when you bring 5 or more players. The 49ers run a traditional 4-2-5. 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 5 defensive backs. That's our nickel package. Used to be referred to as a sub package. We're a nickel 74% of the time. Okay, so if you bring more than 4 players after the quarterback, that is a blitz, quote, aggressive. Now, the NFL's hot topic today is simulated pressures. Okay, what does that mean? It means you're blitzing theoretically, but you're still sticking with your idea of 4, not quote unquote aggressive, not quote unquote blitzing. These are called fire zones. These are called stunts. These are acting like you're blitzing, but not, right? You could all see Dre Greenlaw. You see it in your head. Dre Greenlaw, it's 3rd and 4. Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner walked up over the center. Oh, we're blitzing. And then they back out, right? You still only brought 4. It looks like you're bringing 6. And you got the line calling everything out and moving all that stuff. And it's frantic. They snap the ball. Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw back up. You still only brought 4, but it's a simulated pressure, right? That's the idea. And what Steve Wilks has done really, really well is fire zone blitzing, which means You bring Isaiah Oliver off the edge. You bring a Talanoa Hufanga off the edge. You blitz a Fred Warner up the middle, which would be 5, but somebody steps back. So you're still bringing 4, but now you've got, I don't know, fill in the blank. Drake Jackson, dropping back in the hook to curl zone and getting his big paws up. You're still just bringing 4, but it looks like you're bringing 5. So I do expect a lot more of that. We'll see. And we're not going to see it until weeks 1 or 2. Probably going to see it a lot week 1 going against what's his name with Pittsburgh Steelers, Kenny Pickett, young pup. We're going to have young quarterbacks play week 1 no matter what. They're all young. And so that's going to be fun. And that's one of the things I want to see is more simulated pressures. I love keeping all the players back just because if you get caught in a 5 or 6 man blitz and there is a broken tackle on the backside, that's where those big plays jump in. And what did we just hear Steve Wilks say? We gave up too many big plays last year. That's the area we got to improve on. Well, how do you solve that problem? You don't bring 5 and 6 players repeatedly. But what's the second part of his thing? We got to get more turnovers, make more plays with the ball. Well, how do you do that? You bring 5 and 6 men. So, yeah, it's what it is. It's kind of rough for me.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.